The hype for The Phantom Menace is the textbook definition of you had to have been there. Like the days, the weeks, the months leading up to when it dropped in theaters was unlike anything I've ever seen before and probably ever will again. Like it was on there was a special on every channel. It was all over the news, people talking about it. I'm fairly sure I saw like a 45-minute or an hour long special on CBC. There was hype and promos in every single fast food chain you could possibly think of. Like, just to name, like, per me personally, that I remember, it was like McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King, Wendy's, Subway. It was on Dorito bags. It was on Coke and Pepsi cans. It was on like candy wrapper bags. I don't know what that's called, but like gummy bears. It was everywhere. I remember I had a bag of like, I forget, like the Frito Lays, like the Ringos or Ringalos, whatever they're called. In the bag, there was a little card that you opened up and you could win a prize. I remember I won a Jar Jar Binks keychain, but I never mailed out for it. I probably should have, but whatever. And I was there the opening night of The Phantom Menace. They like the height, like the line was crazy because it was in my mall. It was about halfway in, like the theater was halfway into the mall. The line went from the, I guess, ticket booth, whatever your box office, and the lineup went around and out the door and into the parking lot. I still have the little guide, not guide, but the like the program for opening night. I think I have it still. Ah. I got this on opening night of The Phantom Menace. And I will never, ever, ever get rid of this. It's fairly beaten up, but I don't care. That's going to stay there for the remainder of the video. This is the Saga Begins. This just added to the hype. This is what I mean. It was everywhere. This is the Saga Begins. When we heard that, like, we all knew American Pie. We all heard it. But when we heard this, it was like, yeah, this is it. This is the version. So, before I get going, be sure to subscribe. Helps me out so much. Patreon is in the description down below. New uploads every Sunday. Okay.
A long, long time ago, in a galaxy far away, Naboo was under an attack. And I thought me and Qui-Gon Jinn could talk the Federation into maybe cutting them a little slack. But their response, it didn't thrill us. They locked the doors and tried to kill us. We escaped from that gas, then met Jar Jar and Boss Nass. We took a bongo from the scene and we went to Theed to see the Queen. We all wound up on Tatooine. That's where we found this boy. Oh my, this here Anakin guy. Maybe Vader someday later, now he's just a small fry. And he left his home and kissed his mommy goodbye, saying soon I'm gonna be a Jedi. Soon I'm gonna be a Jedi. Did you know this junkyard slave isn't even old enough to shave? But he can use the Force, they say. Do you see him hitting on the Queen? Though he's just 9 and she's 14. Yeah, he's probably gonna marry her someday. Well, I know he built C-3PO, and I've heard how fast his pod can go. And we were broke, it's true, so we made a wager or two. He was a prepubescent flying ace, and the minute Jabba started off that race, well, I knew who would win first place. Oh yes, it was our boy. We started that race, well, I knew who would win first place. Oh yes, it was our boy. We started singing, my, this here Anakin guy. Maybe Vader someday later, now he's just a small fry. And he left his home and kissed his mommy goodbye, saying soon I'm gonna be a Jedi. Soon I'm gonna be a Jedi. Now we finally got to Coruscant. The Jedi Council we knew would want to see how good the boy could be. So we took him there and we told the tale, how his midi-chlorians were off the scale, and he might fulfill that prophecy. Oh, the council was impressed, of course. Could he bring balance to the Force? They interviewed the kid. Oh, training they forbid, because Yoda sensed in him much fear. And Qui-Gon said, now listen here, just stick it in your pointy ear. I still will teach this boy. He was singing, my, this here Anakin guy. Maybe Vader someday later, now he's just a small fry. And he left his ear. I still will teach this boy. He was singing, my, this here Anakin guy. Maybe Vader someday later, now he's just a small fry. And he left his home and kissed his mommy goodbye, saying soon I'm gonna be a Jedi. Soon I'm gonna be a Jedi. We caught a ride back to Naboo, 'cause Queen Amidala wanted to. I frankly would have liked to stay. We all fought in that epic war, and it wasn't long at all before little Hotshot flew his plane and saved the day. And in the end, some Gungans died, some ships blew up and some pilots fried. A lot of folks were croaking, the battle droids were broken, and the Jedi I admire most met up with Darth Maul and now he's toast. Well, I'm still here and he's a ghost. I guess I'll train this boy. And I was singing, my, this here Anakin guy. Maybe Vader someday later, now he's just a small fry. And he left his home and kissed his mommy goodbye, saying soon I'm gonna be a Jedi. Soon I'm gonna be a Jedi. We were singing, my, this here Anakin guy. Maybe Vader someday later, now he's just a small fry. And he left his home and kissed his mommy goodbye, saying soon I'm gonna be a Jedi. say. Do you see him hitting on the queen? Though he's just 9 and she's 14. Yeah, he's probably gonna marry her someday. Well, I know he built C3PO, and I've heard how fast his pod can go. And we were broke, it's true. So we made a wager or two. He was a prepubescent flying ace, and the minute Jabba started off that race, well, I knew who would win first place. Oh yes, it was our boy. We started singing, my, this here Anakin guy. Maybe Vader someday later, now he's just a small fry. And he left his home and kissed his mommy goodbye, saying soon I'm gonna be a Jedi.
I mean, I'm forgetting so much about the hype because it was insane. It was, and like, the special editions came out in what, 97, I want to say. So there was the hype for that, and that was leading up to the release of The Phantom Menace. So it was years of Star Wars hype. And honestly, I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's not good, it's blah, blah, blah. It's funny because now, the prequels, I should say, when they first came out, they got so much hate. Like, it was crazy. The Phantom Menace came out and then it started building, but now we're at a point of where I would say the prequels are almost loved as much as the original trilogy. Like, everyone, like, Hayden Christensen got so much hate when they first came out, and now he's loved. Since he played Anakin, he's been a staple of Star Wars. I'm sorry, he is. Oh my god, I forget his name, but the guy that voiced Jar Jar was in Ahsoka. Super well received. Those fans that watched the prequels when they were younger have grown up and just been like, okay, they are friggin' fantastic. I loved the prequels. The sequel trilogy, I like it. Yeah, I like it. I don't think it should be canon, but that's a story for another time. But I think they're fantastic. I'm probably gonna end up going through this. Unreal. The hype. But for now, that's it. That's all. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you again real soon. Later.